It's 2019 and welcome back to Saturday Night Stride. Tonight I want to take a moment and I want to first do a brief reflection on the first Levitic Worshipers Clinic. The first clinic was absolutely above anything that I could have ever expected. And God showed up. And when I tell you He showed up, He showed out. But I can be transparent when I tell you that before the day of the clinic, I was very nervous. I was very fearful. God, I want your people, the people that you draw, to understand that this is my heart's plea. This is my passion. This is, what I'm created for, is to worship. But also I know that God has birthed something in me to pour into His people to understand that worship, what it is, what are we doing, what's our assignment in the earth. So the crazy thing is, the morning of the actual clinic, it was amazing how the enemy attempted to attack. And when he tried to attack, he tried to destroy everything that I know that God had spoken for what was to be manifested in that day. So that morning I woke up at like 5 a.m. in preparation. God, I just want to meditate. I want to make sure I have everything together. I want to make sure that I have everything in order, because I'm very anal. I'm very OCD about, when I am facilitating or teaching, I want to make sure that everyone can follow me, that everyone understands. I wanted to make sure that everything flowed smoothly at the clinic. And so that morning, guys, I kid you not, every time I sat in front of my Bible, the enemy attacked my body in such a way that I really questioned whether I was going to even be able to attend my own clinic. So at that point, I had to speak directly to the enemy and let him know, like, you have no place in my life, and whatever God has spoken into me, it is going to manifest itself today, and it's going to be birthed. I wanted to share that with you guys because there's so many times that God is trying to birth something within us, and because the enemy attacks, or because fear overtakes us, we run away and we don't stand in holy boldness and with authority to do what God has assigned us to do. So I wanted to stop by to tell you that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love, and also of a sound mind. The day of the clinic, I actually said this in one of my sessions, and I said, there are too many lives at stake. There are too many believers that are coming into the four walls of the church, and they're seeking deliverance and they're seeking healing. There are too many people that are wanting God for us to live out in fear and not walk with holy boldness to do what God has called us to do. Everybody that comes into the sanctuary should not leave the same way that they arrived. And once we get to a place where we're functioning in fear, it impacts our assignment. It negatively impacts our assignment, because at that point, we're not walking with authority. We're not walking and speaking and declaring with the holy boldness that God has already commanded us to do. Prayer is that God will lift up a standard when the enemy comes in like a flood. When the enemy comes in to attack our minds, when the enemy comes in with anxiety, when the enemy tries to attack us with depression, when the enemy comes in and tries to attack us with this overwhelming amount of fear, when we're trying to function in our God-given assignment, we cast it down in Jesus' name. There are too many people that need us to point them back to Him. I pray that as you live on purpose and as you're living beyond familiar, that you are speaking with authority, speaking with holy boldness, and using the access that God has given you to pour into His people. Love y'all, mean it, and this has been tonight's session of Saturday Night Stride.